Welcome to Diamond Owl Studios, the #1 place for rock and roll. I'm your host, Paper Chase.
And it's the one and only Diamond Don Juan, and we are back with another reaction just for you.
Back. Tell them what's going on, Don.
So today we are listening to AC/DC's Long Way to the Top.
If you want to rock and roll. Yes, sir. I've never heard this full song, man. I've listened to it.
Me either.
Actually, I only know this song from the movie, because we did the movie reaction on our other page, School of Rock, and they sang
There you go.
that. So
Yeah, I don't think I've ever listened to the whole song. So we're going to do that today. We've been enjoying, I mean, honestly, like we were talking about Queen being like one of our favorite bands to react to because it just makes you feel good. I would put AC/DC in that category too.
Well,
Like
you
their
asked
music
me.
just like has a certain vibe to it where it's just like you want to jump up out of your seat, you want to dance, you want to sing, but it
bang a hot chick.
exactly. But every time you listen to them, it puts me in a better mood.
Absolutely. You asked me, you were like, what out of these 5 of these classic ones that we love, who's your favorite? And I had to narrow it down to my #1 was AC/DC. Because every single time we listen to them, it's just absolutely just great vibes. So,
This is true.
let's get into it.
It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. If you think it's easy doing one-night stands, try playing in a rock roll band. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll.
God, this didn't let us down at all.
I didn't realize there was bagpipe on this song.
I never realized there was bagpipe on this song at
So
all.
So obviously I've never heard the whole song. Couple things. So they talked about it's an epic song, like the songwriting, just talking about that come up of, being on the road. What do you say? Getting into fights, getting a broken nose.
Yeah,
like
just the hard struggle of getting to the level they're at.
exactly. Yeah. And this is, even early in their career before, I think they even, really broke out on the world stage as like, this huge band that we know them as today. I mean, this is our first reaction to early AC/DC with the original singer Bon Scott. So there's that element to it, but you could take that message and apply it to anything. It really is that story of like, everything looks like it's all glitters and gold, but nobody wants to talk about what it took to get to that level, like the
Mm.
hours and hours of, monotonous playing the guitar, or the hours and hours of practicing like your punch combo to when you step up in the ring. It's like, oh, that guy looks amazing. He knocks everybody out. It's like, oh, there's years of that, and put
Mhm.
that on any type of skill that you perfect over time. So I
Yeah.
think it just like, it has the rock and roll meaning, but I think it really speaks to anybody who just really puts in the dedication and the hard work.
Who wants to be super successful at something,
Mhm.
and like obviously like that rock and roll life, like even with everything, like you see a super successful guy who's living the life, getting the ladies, like that dude's a rock star.
Yeah.
And like that, these guys are the ones who like formed what that meaning is. And I know you did music back in the day, I know you toured, I know I did music back in the day, and man, I know that like
We'll share some tour
we'll share
stories
some
at
stories,
the end.
but yeah, like the struggle is real out
Yeah.
there, guys.
And nobody ever wants to talk about that. It's always like you see the final end product where it's like you said, you're on the stage, you got the ladies. Some of us never make it to that stage. Some of us just get stuck here. But the other thing that I thought was interesting is they talked about doing a one night stand. We did a reaction recently. What was it? I forget the song, but they talked about a one night stand. And of course, we were being ratchet and being like, oh, yeah, the one night stands. I'm going to be completely honest. I never realized that one night stand was actually a reference to doing like a one night stand, like a one night gig as a band. I didn't know that's where the reference came from.
I never did either. I know till right now.
Yeah, that's where it comes from. And I know that because of the other reaction that we did. And somebody's like, get your head out of the gutter, you fucking dirty birds. One night stand means that like, hey, you're just performing for one night at a venue.
Got it. Okay.
And so they referenced it again, doing one night stands. And it's like, yeah, it makes sense that that's where it came from. Cause of course, you do a little one night stand, you rock the ladies' socks and other things off.
And then,
But the actual meaning is it's like a one night gig.
gotcha. Okay. I didn't know that.
Hotel, motel, make you wanna cry. Ladies do the hot sell, know the reason why. Getting old, getting gray, getting ripped off, underpaid, getting sold, secondhand. That's how it goes. Playing in a band, it's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. If you wanna be a star, stage and scream. Look out, it's rough and mean. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you wanna rock and roll. It's a long way. It's a long way. Listen to me. It's a long way. Such a long way.
How iconic, man. Then just riding down the streets of London.
I think that maybe that was in Australia. They're from Australia.
Is okay.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to the background. I was just lost.
But either way, Rolling the Streets,
performance.
just insane. Absolutely, just so iconic. Yeah, that's the first time we've ever listened to Bon Scott, and incredible.
Yeah, tour stories. You got any? So that the song is awesome because again, it's like, man, it's just like a song. Like I feel like of the people. Like it goes beyond just the rock and roll aspect of it. It really is a song about grinding and going through all those, tough times to get to the top. Like, and that could be anything. It could really be anything because, nothing's easy in life. If you really want to do something great in life, you have to go through all that shit. You have to go to the shitty shows. They're talking about being in motels and hotels and, think about, all those, whatever it is in life that you've done where you're just eating plates of shit at the beginning and like hoping it works out. I feel like that's so much in life. It's just, all these rough, periods of life and rough spells. And if you just keep working at it, and one step in front of the other, then you eventually get to where you want to be, get to the top. But
absolutely, yeah. I mean, I feel like if you're a successful band or anything and you've gone through that struggle, like obviously there's some artists who just like blow up overnight, and then they have and especially nowadays with social media, it's like they don't have to go through the struggle as much. But yeah, I mean, dude, I have all kinds of stories, like embarrassing bad ones. Like, I mean, here's one quick one that'll always stick with me, and I used to always tell people this when like they were like starting music and they were all nervous. I'm like, bro, like even if it bombs, like, we had one show. We weren't even supposed to play. We were on tour and we were in this small town, Bradley, Illinois. And we found out Afro Man was playing 2 nights at this small, and Afro Man was like a hero of ours, but he was like kind of washed up, like, so he's playing at like this bar venue type thing. And the first night we go and we're like talking to the owner and we're like, can we play like opening? Just like, why not? He's like, nah. So the first night, we end up going out back and meeting Afro Man. And I was like, bro, you want to smoke in our van? He's like, yeah, for sure. And we ended up like showing him some of our music. He's like, dude, I'll go in right now. Fucking tell these guys that you're going to open tomorrow night. So he goes in, tells the owner. We're like, all right, sweet. So we're opening the next night. Turns out like the band that was so we were going to open and there was 2 bands in front of us and then Afro Man. And one of the bands canceled. And then the other band was like, hey, we need to like get out of here early tonight, so do you guys want to like perform right before Afro Man? And we're like, yeah, sure, dude.
And you're thinking this is like your lucky break.
Yeah,
you're so excited.
And turns out this band that went before us was like insane, like phenomenal, dude. Like they were called like I don't even remember what they were, but dude, they were like
just so good.
Dude, they had like this performance. They like had crates. They were jumping off of smack. Like, dude, it was insane. So good. And we're like, fuck. And this is like when our band just started, and we go on and everybody already was like, who the fuck are these guys? Nobody wanted us to play there. Like, and I'm like giving it all my first song. And I realized like crickets at the end of it. I'm like, oh, this is bad. And then the second song, I had this move where I used to spin the mic around, throw it and catch it,
Yeah.
And I started spinning it around and the mic flies across the venue. Like the mic, and it's skipping on the ground. And I literally like run out like, and go get the mic. And everybody's just like, what the fuck? Dude, we got booed. At the end of that song, we got booed. And we had to finish the song. And then our metronome broke and our in-ears broke. So the guitar or the drums were off on the third song. It was the worst performance of my whole life. We got booed multiple times. It was like afterwards we were like, let's just leave and never come back to this town ever again. And and that was like at the beginning, but it built this confidence in us that we were like, nothing could be that bad.
Yeah, like as bad as that was, like at least we know that there's a rock bottom. Yeah, it can only go up from here.
It was bad. But yeah, I mean, and that's what I tell everybody is like, dude, you have to have those moments to instill confidence in you. Like you're always going to be nervous, but like, you have to eat some shit before you're going to have really good shows. So.
Yeah. And ultimately it's just fun. Like regardless of like where like it went for me musically, like I had fun doing it. Like all those like stories are just so much fun. You're hanging out with your boys, you're traveling. Like at one point they were talking about like staying in, these like hotels, motels. He said something about getting ripped off by the promoter. And it made me think of like the biggest show that we ever did ourselves. Like I used to be in a group with Black Pegasus, who has a reaction channel. You probably run into him. And so this venue opened in Colorado Springs. It's called 32 Blue. And it was like one of the first shows that they ever threw.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were negotiating with them. And promoters are always like fucking you over. They're always trying to get in your pockets. And we had been doing shows for like years where we were bringing a crowd consistently and they were fucking us over. Like, you know, I was trying to negotiate better deals. Long story short, by the time we got to this, you know, point, we're in negotiations and I'm basically like, hey, this is the amount they want. And they're like, we'll give you $300. And I just like lost my shit. I was like, no. And Rob was like, you know, Black Vegas, this is like, no, dude, this is going to be really good for us. And like, I'm arguing with him. I'm like, no, fuck this shit. Like, I'm fucking sick of this. And he's like taking me outside. He's like, no, dude, you need to calm down. You need to chill. Like, you're going to blow this opportunity. And I'm like, dude, there's no fucking way that we're doing this show for $300. I got us up to like $1,200 or something. It wasn't even that much, like not
But
that much.
still, I mean, yeah.
But the point was that we ended up selling it out and it ended up being like one of the biggest shows that we'd ever done. It was like 700 people, $15 a piece for the ticket price.
Yeah, so they made
so much money and we had a good drinking crowd because that was the other thing. I was like, we want a portion of the bar. I was like, this is bullshit. But it just reminded me of that like conversation, like losing my shit. Like, we were about to have a falling out over it, you know, because I'm arguing with him about it. Then I'm arguing with the promoter. I'm the bad guy. But those little moments, like I think back on that and we both just laugh at it now. We're just like, dude, do you remember you like fucking in the office with the promoter, just like screaming at him and screaming at me? And he's like, you know, it ended up being just like an iconic memory.
Made you guys $900 more bucks too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what promoters will do though.
The other one I remember is we were driving. It was Atmosphere, big hip hop group. They had a battle, like a rap battle that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might have been like 17 or 18 at the time, but we borrowed his mom's like Astro van because we went up as a crew and we're driving up to Fort Collins, which is like a 2-hour drive and it's just bombing snow. And the wipers broke. So it's just like caking the like windshield and I'm hanging out the windshield, just like scraping it and trying to like get there for like 2 hours. And we were like taking turns, literally hanging out the window on the highway, like scraping the window off, like sliding in the snow just to get to this rap battle. Cause we're like, this is our chance, man. We can basically, you know, perform in front of Atmosphere, you know, maybe we'll get noticed and hand him one of our CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good days.
I didn't realize Atmosphere was that old.
You didn't realize?
Well, I mean, not to say that, but like he's huge in Colorado.
Yeah, he first came out, like his first, like one of his breakout songs was like late 90s, like 97, 98.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there was
The Woman with the Tattooed Hands. You know that song?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what's so funny is that it's like that was like the first song that was just like, oh my God, like people heard that and we had never heard anything like that.
He's got some
was
great
like,
songs. So.
Oh, he does. But that's like that one of the things that song came out on a mixtape, I believe, and people were just like, you know, lost their mind.
But hey, thanks for indulging in some of our story time, guys. We love to do that on this channel, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. We're not like these normal reaction channels where we cry because it's just so beautiful. Nah, man, we get to the nitty gritty and the reality.
What's wrong
of
with crying? You have a thing about people crying on
no,
the reactions.
I just know that. Okay, if you guys
this is a tangent. You're on one. He's on one.
If you guys are still here, I'm just gonna say this: a lot of people out there are very performative. They know what they do, certain things for clicks, and certain people, you guys, some of you feed into it, and they're ingenuine. We're very genuine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we've cried on these reactions, but just know that when we actually do cry, that we really mean it.
Yeah, when we actually do cry, it's like, damn, are you okay? And then he never hears the end of it. I'll be making fun of him for the next 3
for
days.
eternity.
We'll have people walk to the studio. I'm like, guess what? He was just fucking crying because this.
he takes clips of it and then just blasts it out on social media to all our friends. Look at this pussy.
There's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with showing your emotions, but there is something wrong with being performative and being fake for views. So
Hey, that was a side note, but at the end of the day, I know it was a little bit of a tangent, but music like this, it does more than just, make you want to bop your head or dance around. Like, it touches a nerve. Like, I really relate to it, not just like I said, because the, music and performing, but to me, it's just really a song about perseverance and hard work to, reach your goals. And I love it.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.